The ring slipped from her fingers and hit the marble floor with a sharp echo. Everyone turned. No one breathed. The music stopped mid-note, like the entire room had frozen in shock. Alexis stood there in her white dress, her chest rising fast, her eyes locked on the man she had just married. A poor single dad. A man she didn't love. A man she didn't choose. And now, a man she could not walk away from. Across from her, Gabriel didn't move. His son, Nate, held his hand tightly, looking confused, scared, and far too young to understand why the bride looked like she wanted to run. The guests whispered. Some judged. Some pitied. But none of them knew the truth. Not about Gabriel. Not about this marriage. And definitely not about the reason Alexis's powerful father forced this union. But in that moment, as the ring lay between them, one question hung heavy in the air. What if the man she was forced to marry wasn't who everyone thought he was? Before we go deeper into this case, take a second and hit the subscribe button, give this video a like, and let us know where you're watching from. I'm curious to know how far these stories travel. Gabriel Gleason woke up before the sun every single day. Not because he wanted to. Because he had to. The small apartment was quiet except for the soft hum of an old fridge. He moved carefully, trying not to wake Nate. But Nate was already awake. Sitting on the couch. Holding his little toy car. Dad, you're going to work again? Gabriel smiled, tired but warm. Yeah, buddy. Just for a bit. Nate nodded like he understood. But he didn't. He just missed his dad. Gabriel worked 2 jobs. Construction in the morning. Cleaning offices at night. His hands were always rough. His back always hurt. But he never complained. Because everything he did was for Nate. Breakfast was simple. Toast. Sometimes eggs. Sometimes nothing but tea. Still, Gabriel made it feel like enough. Best breakfast in the world, he would say. And Nate would smile. Because to him, it was. Their life wasn't easy. Bills stacked up. Rent was always late. The landlord knocked more often than Gabriel liked. But somehow, they made it through each day. Mrs. Morris, the neighbor, helped when she could. She watched Nate sometimes. Brought over soup. Spoke kindly when the world felt cold. You're doing your best, she once told Gabriel. And for a moment, he believed it. But nights were harder. After Nate slept, Gabriel would sit alone. Quiet. Thinking. Remembering. His wife. The woman who left. The silence she left behind. The questions Nate would one day ask. Gabriel didn't have answers yet. Just hope. And exhaustion. Still, every morning, he got up again. Because giving up was never an option. Before we continue, take a second and share your thoughts so far on this story below. I read every single one. Because if you've ever had to keep going when life felt impossible, you understand Gabriel more than you think. But what Gabriel didn't know was that his life was about to change in a way he never saw coming. The day started like any other. Until the black car pulled up. It didn't belong in that neighborhood. Too clean. Too expensive. Too quiet. A man stepped out. Sharp suit. Sharp eyes. Jamie Allport. Gabriel Gleason? Gabriel nodded slowly. I represent Mr. Greg Purritt. The name meant nothing to Gabriel. But the tone did. This wasn't casual. This was serious. Inside the small apartment, everything felt smaller with Jamie standing there. He looked around like he didn't belong. Because he didn't. I have a proposal, Jamie said. Gabriel frowned. I'm not interested. Jamie didn't leave. This concerns your son. That made Gabriel pause. Everything always came back to Nate. What about him? Jamie stepped closer. Marry Alexis Purritt. Silence. Then a laugh. Short. Confused. Is this a joke? Jamie didn't smile. It's not. Gabriel shook his head. No. Simple. Clear. But Jamie kept talking. Your debts will be cleared. Your son's future secured. Medical care, education, everything. Gabriel's jaw tightened. And if I say no? Jamie didn't hesitate. Then everything stays the same. The weight of that answer sat heavy. Gabriel looked at Nate. Small. Innocent. Unaware. Then back at Jamie. Why me? Jamie paused. For the first time, uncertain. Because you're the only one who said no. That didn't make sense. Not yet. But something about it felt wrong. Still, Gabriel knew one thing. This wasn't just about money. This was something deeper. Something hidden. Before we go deeper, I would love to hear your point of view. If you were Gabriel, with everything on the line for your child, would you accept a marriage you never wanted? Or walk away and risk losing everything? Share your thoughts in the comments. Because Gabriel had to make that choice. And he didn't have much time. Alexis Purritt didn't cry. Not when her father told her. Not when the date was set. Not even when the dress was fitted. She just went quiet. Cold. Controlled. You're not serious, she said. Greg Purritt didn't blink. I am. You're forcing me to marry a stranger. I'm protecting you. From what? Silence. That was always his answer. Ellie Purritt watched from the side. Soft eyes. No voice. Alexis turned to her. Mom? Nothing. Just a look. A sad one. That said everything and nothing at the same time. The wedding was rushed. Private. Controlled. No escape. Alexis met Gabriel for the first time hours before the ceremony. He didn't look like what she expected. He looked tired. Real. Holding a child's hand. That confused her. Why are you doing this? She asked. Gabriel didn't lie. My son. That answer stayed with her. Because it felt honest. But honesty didn't make it right. The ceremony felt like a transaction. Not love. Not choice. Just obligation. Every word felt heavy. Every glance felt wrong. Then came the moment. The ring. The silence. The fall. And everything changed. Because Alexis wasn't just angry anymore. She was scared. Of what she didn't know. Of what her father was hiding. Of the man she had just married. And Gabriel. He felt it too. The tension. The pressure. The eyes watching. But he stayed still. For Nate. Always Nate. That night, in a house that didn't feel like home. Two strangers sat across from each other. Bound together. Not by love. But by something neither of them fully understood. And just as Alexis was about to speak, a knock came at the door. Jamie stood there again. Different this time. Less controlled. More urgent. We need to talk, he said. Greg wasn't there. For the first time. The truth had space to breathe. Inside, the air felt tight. Alexis crossed her arms. Start talking. Jamie looked at Gabriel. Then at Nate. Then back at Alexis. Your father didn't force this marriage for power. Then why? A pause. Then the words came. Because Gabriel saved your life. Silence. Real silence. The kind that changes everything. Alexis blinked. What? Jamie nodded slowly. Years ago. Accident. You never saw his face. Her heart raced. No. He pulled you out. Took the hit. Disappeared before anyone could thank him. Alexis looked at Gabriel. Really looked. And for the first time, she saw something different. Not a stranger. Not just a poor single dad. But someone who carried a past she never knew. Why didn't you say anything? She asked softly. Gabriel shrugged. It didn't matter. It mattered to me. His eyes dropped. I didn't do it for that. That broke something inside her. All the anger. All the resistance. It didn't vanish. But it shifted. Because this man wasn't what she thought. Not even close. And suddenly, the marriage didn't feel like a trap anymore. It felt like a question. One she didn't know how to answer yet. The days after felt different. Not easy, but softer. Alexis noticed the small things. The way Gabriel spoke to Nate. The way Nate looked at him. Like he was the whole world. She saw the sacrifices. The quiet strength. The patience. Things money couldn't buy. One morning, she made breakfast. Simple. Awkward. But real. Nate smiled. Is this for us? She nodded. And something shifted again. Gabriel watched. Careful. Unsure. But hopeful. Slowly, they began to talk. Not about the past. But about now. About life. About what comes next. And for the first time, they were choosing something. Not forced. Not controlled. Just trying. Greg returned eventually. Expecting control. But things had changed. Alexis stood her ground. I'm staying. Not because she had to. Because she wanted to understand. Because she saw something real. And Gabriel. He wasn't alone anymore. Not completely. Because sometimes, the life you never wanted becomes the one you needed most. Some stories don't begin with love. They begin with pressure. With fear. With choices no one should have to make. Gabriel didn't want this marriage. Alexis didn't choose it. And yet, here they were. Two people brought together by force. But held together. By truth. By sacrifice. By something deeper than first impressions. Because sometimes, we judge too quickly. We assume too much. We walk away before we understand. But if Alexis had walked away, she never would have known the man who saved her life. If Gabriel had refused, he might have lost the chance to give Nate something more. Not just stability, but family. Real family. Before we close this story, I want to ask you something that really matters. The moral crossroads. Alexis was forced into a marriage she never wanted. Gabriel accepted it for his son, not for love. Now that the truth is out, did they do the right thing by staying and trying to build something real? Or should they have walked away and started over alone? Vote below. Team stay or team walk away. I read every comment, and I want to hear where you stand on this. If this story touched you in any way, take a moment to like this video. It helps more people find stories like this. And if you're a single parent watching right now, share your story below. You're not alone. Your strength matters. Your journey matters. And someone out there needs to hear it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for feeling this story. And if you want more powerful, emotional stories like this, subscribe to The Redeemed Single Dad. Because every story has a truth. And every truth deserves to be heard.